Today we are going to learn JavaScript. Now, you already know the basic concepts of JavaScript, but whenever you learn JavaScript more and more, you are always worrying about the question. Though JavaScript is single-threaded language, which means at one time you can execute only one thing, but then how asynchronous things happen in this language. So today, we are going to see how synchronous and asynchronous work happens inside this interesting language. So, you have this code which has three functions foo, bar, bazinga, and then we are going to generate a call stack for these three functions. So we'll start with the first call inside the call stack. I'm just showing you how the browser is going to read this particular piece of code and how browser interprets that there are three functions. So the browser starts with the main function, which is the entire block, and then it pushes Bazinga into the call stack. The Bazinga has the bar, which is called inside it. So when Bazinga is called, it calls bar, and then when bar is called, it calls foo. So we have foo bar bazinga inside our call stack. Now when foo completes its execution, the context returns back to the bar. When bar completes its execution, the context returns back to bazinga. And finally, the bazinga completes its execution and we exit from the call stack. This is very simple, right? And when we take it to asynchronous things, this becomes complex. So in asynchronous thing, there is not the JavaScript that is taking it in a single thread or multi-thread. There are two things involved. So we have a single threaded language, which is JavaScript, and then there is a browser which is supporting this single threaded language to perform asynchronous things. So here we have to learn the concept of event loop. But before that, let's see how this happens inside the asynchronous part. So we have the function foo. So when we executed this main block, foo will enter into the stack. Then you are seeing an asynchronous piece of code, which is a set timeout function. The set timeout function has a callback CB. So right now, when set timeout enters into the call stack with the callback function CB, the CB, which resides inside the set timeout, goes to the web APIs, which resides inside the browser. Now, the bar is there still. So when set timeout done its execution, the bar enters into the call stack. So foo has executed, then bar has executed, but CB still remains inside the web API. Now, when the timer is completed for CB, which means the callback is completed, now the callback is shifted to the task queue. Now, here you see something called event loop. Now, the purpose of event loop is to check whether the call stack is empty or not. So if the call stack is empty, the event loop will take the things from the task queue and put it into the stack. So here, as you can see, there is nothing into the stack. Foo and bar has completed their execution. Hence, the callback of the set timeout or the asynchronous part will enter into the stack. And finally, this is completed and we get everything completed asynchronously inside JavaScript.